Hey guys, welcome to Chili Talks. My name is Tammy Hosford. I'm here with Frank, and today we are going to be considering some very interesting topic. We're going to look at crypto. We're going to look at the dollar, which is potentially softening. We're going to consider metals, etc. So, Frank, what do you think? Right now, we have crypto pushing higher. We have the dollar, which looks like it's softening, in my opinion. Basically, I don't think it's actually going to be a downward surge, but be that as it may, it's softening, right? And then gold. So, what do you think? Crypto. Let's go for it.
A ton of questions, Tammy, and among all these questions, crypto-wise, what I'm eyeing at the moment is Ethereum. ETH, based on the daily chart, is pushing hard at the 50 moving average. If that level breaks to the upside, kaboom, it might move to the moon. And if it doesn't, we might see Ethereum moving lower. That said, obviously, Bitcoin is usually leading the crypto market, so Bitcoin needs to kind of move higher in order for the altcoins to also increase their value. But yes, and you pointed out at the beginning, the dollar weakening obviously also helps crypto markets moving higher.
Okay, so just my take here, I'm looking at Bitcoin, right? And just 1st of July, we hit 58,000.
Yeah.
Today being the 7th, we are already at 63,000. I reckon probably if we push above 70,000, 70,000, do you think that's bullish from there, or do you think there's still bearishness around the corner? For me, the technicals is leaning towards if we push above 70, 75, we may see bullish runs. What do you think?
Whoa. You already talk about the 70,000 handle. I mean, dude, come on. So what we've seen last month, the market was very bearish, right? So Tommy, Bitcoin kind of went all the way to the downside, closed near the bottom. This month is just young and the market starts recovering. Two things. If the market continues to the upside, yes, we might see 68, 70, or $75,000 at some point soon. But if this is just a retracement, which I fear in a way, we might see that we just make the top in Bitcoin maybe these couple of days, and then the market might weaken further. So I would certainly eye the psychological 60,000 handle, and that's going to be key. If the market increases for now, we've seen this last week, moving higher this week, doesn't look too bad, kind of flat as I'm eyeing it at the moment. But yeah, there might be some momentum indeed.
Yeah, the other thing is that a lot of people are saying because Bitcoin is not necessarily moved by a lot of macros or fundamentals. Basically, when Bitcoin starts moving, it's said that probably liquidity is coming back into the market. Do you think that's the case in this scenario?
Oh, I'm not too sure, to be honest. I'm not sure if I really got the question at the moment. The overall, in general, the overall risk sentiment is a bit mixed. We see a bit of a blend, and we're gonna talk about this later. The S&P kind of moving, the Nasdaq losing momentum as we speak, broke some important level at the moment. But the Dow Jones is kind of, in a way, positive, and we see that there's
the Dow Jones
a fragmentation in the market.
It is almost like the Dow Jones is always diametrically opposed. For some reason, I don't know why. The three averages are supposed to be moving together, but the Dow Jones usually just goes off the chart most of the time. Go at it. Don't mind.
Yeah. So exactly, Tommy, right? So the Dow Jones, and I'm looking at it as we speak. The Dow Jones also pushes through some resistance, but seems to fade. The German, the DAX is also kind of going lower. So we've seen recently that the tech companies, Nasdaq-wise, were losing some momentum, or rather weakening slightly, while S&P was holding up steady, and the Dow Jones and the DAX were like making it. Blue chips, right? So we see a bit of a rally towards safe haven, which is not safe haven, but in terms of the equity market. So yeah, tricky. So what you're eyeing in terms of the Nasdaq at the moment? Do you have any vision of that?
Basically, I'm looking at the Nasdaq, and I think we're going to see a lot of bearishness. Actually, just before we started this, I was in on the Nasdaq. I took a little bit of short term. Actually, I was eyeing the 29,300. But because of the podcast, I had to get out early because I don't want to be here and something else is going on. But basically, if you look at the Nasdaq in general, after we made the all-time highs, the market has looked like it's been in a huge consolidation. more like a pennant pattern forming if you take a close look at it from the daily chart. But would this be bearishness long term? Not necessarily, but for short term traders, of course, we may see a push lower. Possibly we could see 28,800 as well if the bears keep the momentum going. But of course, anything above, sorry, let me just take a look at the price level now. Anything above 29,808 could instigate bullishness. But right now, from a daily perspective, the market looks like it's in a big range. And traders want to pay close attention to that, because it means we could see bullishness tomorrow and bearishness the next day after, whatever, right? So traders should pay close attention to that. But I'll draw our focus back now to the dollar index, right? I'm seeing a lot of people, I think even you as well, is saying that the dollar index is potentially softening. Right? Actually, I'm contrarian to that opinion. I think this would just be like what is a retracement, because just on the 24th of June, we saw the dollar index top at 101 price level, 0.4 something. Right now, it has pushed lower since the 24th of June up to today. Would be seeing a little bit of bearishness, which I consider a retracement, however. So what's your take on the dollar index? Is this weakness, or do you just think this is a retracement or a pullback?
Did you ask me a question, or did you also straight give the answer, Tammy?
I love it's a question.
No, I agree. So, and I see the same, right? I mean, the 100 level, 100 psychological round figure, right? And I've just been eyeing the market at the moment here, 100.47, 150, 100.50. That's the support level. And the market came down recently, daily chart, weekly chart, as I'm seeing it that way. So we might see the market moving somehow lower. And if we are looking at the weekly chart, last week, Tammy gave us a bearish candlestick, right? So 2 weeks ago, bullish, blue candle in my chart, NAGA pattern colors, right? And red candle, bearish candlestick. And now we are just at the lower end of it. But like, I agree with you, and that's the overall bottom line. That's the big partition in terms of trading when we are looking at it right now. If the dollar will weaken, we will see Bitcoin higher, stocks higher, like forget your Nasdaq short, whatever, right? The markets might rally again big time. But at the moment, I might also see that this was just a retracement. And Tommy, what I'm thinking is, if the dollar index, and guys, if you're watching this, focus on a potential breakout. 101.40, that's a technical zone. If that level breaks, one might be better prepared for kind of dollar strength, and that might kill everything. Precious metals lower, stocks lower, the entire thing might kind of turn around again. Let's just push quickly to commodities. I've been watching oil, right? So I have my chart right here in front of me, and February 27th, which was a Friday, the market closed, but when it opened March 1st, there was this new week opening gap. So we have an overnight gap. Then some weeks later, the geopolitical tension between US and Iran kicked off, and we saw price that's surging higher. And I think about 9 days later, we are already trading around the 119.24 price level. Now, we've seen a little bit of peace talks here and there, and a deal that has some people are saying it's done, some people are saying maybe not. But then possibly we are seeing oil right now. It has been trending lower for quite a while. Currently, we are inside that gap from February, the close of trading business, February 27th, to the open March 1st, where we had the new week opening gap. We're currently trading inside that price level. And of course, that would be a really key point. We have not broken below it. We are inside the gap itself. Currently, the market looks like it's pushing bullish to break to the upside. We know not. What do you think? Do you think we'll continually see weakness? Because currently we are trading, US crude oil is trading currently at 69.89. Do you think we will see weakness, or do you think that bullishness may be on the horizon for oil? No, Tommy, I think, and last week, be precise, let's be precise. Last week, I said the bearish oil market momentum might come to an end. We've seen kind of a strong bearish move, and I think now the market is negatively saturated in a way, right? So what I think from the current levels on, we might move actually higher again, because the current level, this strong support zone you mentioned, wherever you might mark it, in WTI or in Brent, whatever, but like I think now we have the chances that the oil market might actually rally higher again. And again, we've seen the geopolitical tensions between US and Iran and whoever else is involved there kind of flaring up, but the market has not been reactive. But what not? Why not? Let's see, the market might be potentially reactive. I recall also OPEC stated that they will start to basically kind of increase oil output. Is that really going to happen? You know, like, we don't know exactly, but like I think we see, or we might have the chance that the market indeed might start to strengthen further, and I might actually be interested in kind of selling it into rallies potentially at some point.
To be honest, since you've been saying this, I've been distracted by your mug over there. I don't know what you have in that.
The NAGA mug, you mean? Well, there's let's call it, there's a Thai bubble tea inside. You mean because it's condensing outside, right? Like, it's not a hot coffee, it's a Thai bubble tea. For me, it's already evening here in Thailand where I'm at the moment. So like Thai bubble tea, let's put it that way.
Oh, nice. Now I'm going to push quickly to gold, right? Gold. Precious metals. What do you think? What's your opinion on precious metals right now? It's also been heavily bearish, and in recent days we've seen a slight push to the bullish side. For me personally, it also looks like a retracement if you are looking at the technicals, because we still have the downtrend in place. What do you think on gold? What's your opinion?
Dude, I have to charge you overtime, actually. You keep asking me a ton of questions today. So what I'm thinking, Tammy, gold is the same like in Bitcoin, right? If this is going to be retracement, which is what I'm believing, that last month, June, huge bearish candlestick pattern. Now, early July, the market starts to kind of move higher again. That's at least on the monthly chart. And again, the lows of last month, if they're going to break, we might see the bearish continuation again. The weekly chart tells us a different story. The weekly chart, we found support 2 weeks ago, last week, and the market starts to move slightly higher. There's the 50 moving average inside soon, so there might be still some upside in gold. But based on the daily charts, shorter term, right? So I see already that the market is just facing some potential headwinds, some resistance, some technical levels. And by the way, it's the same in gold and the same in silver. And again, we're back to the same question you asked me early on, Tommy. It's what the dollar is going to do, right? Dollar strength, everything else will likely go. And dollar weakness, likely the markets will move higher. I mean, you're down there in Africa, on the big continent. You are like in an oil-rich country. What do you think about the oil and the precious metals markets in particular? Because commodities is basically your economy, right?
Yeah, basically for now, oil, the end users are not so happy about it. Actually, the government had to step in to say they would most likely look to regulate the prices. But generally, the end users are not so happy, because despite the fact we've seen oil tank lower since that 120 price level, the price has not really changed on the pump for we here in Nigeria. All right. So for us, we are looking at a situation where we could see that affect the end user by the end of the day. But right now, it's not looking so great for us over here when it comes to oil, right? And for metals, basically, I'm just going to speak on the technical part. For metals, is precisely gold, which technically has it has almost similar price action with I think they are positively correlated with silver, but I cannot overlook the new week opening gap as well that we have here on gold. If you look at June 12th when we closed, there was an opening gap when we opened June 14th. It opened higher. Now, personally, from a technical standpoint, if you are considering the technicals, if that gap gives way, so let's say, for instance, the market push higher, breaks above that gap, we have a short-term high just above that gap as well, right? That could instigate the bulls to come in strong, right? However, if we do not lose that point, then it may suggest that the bears are still in play in this market. But of course, like you made mention, or like you pointed out, we still have to look at the dollar, because whatever the dollar does tends to have an effect here on gold. So let's consider the dollar and see what the dollar is doing and how that would translate into gold price action as well.
Agree. I mean, we have also geopolitical tensions. We thrive briefly, right? There might be many reasons as well why the gold price might fluctuate and remain volatile. But at the moment and medium term, I remain with the same standpoint. So there is a potential for a correction to the downside again, especially if the dollar index shows dollar strength. Then everything else might go. So that's the take on it.
I'm going to wrap this up with semiconductors. Basically, I want us to look at semiconductors themselves as stocks, right? Because despite the fact we've been seeing all-time highs on the NASDAQ, the S&P 500, we do know that this is not the general market perspective. There are just a few stocks that are holding the index up. What do you think about semiconductor stocks? Because we have earnings season just by the corner as well. Most of these guys would probably be dealing out their earnings. What do you think? Nvidia, AMD, the likes of them. What do you think about those stocks?
I think they are overvalued, and that's why the markets currently give way. I mean, you played your shot on the Nasdaq already today, right? So well done. The S&P 500 looking kind of to be corrective in a way. I'm just eyeing Nvidia, and it looks like toppish. $220, $230, and the market seems to be correcting. I mean, if I would continue painting what I see for Nvidia, $140, $150, $160 level maybe could be something. The big semiconductor company, and I'm not big in these markets in general, I have to say. I'm more on the dividend stock, paying out money free of charge every month. ASML, the big market company as well. These guys, I mean, one of the market leaders. ASML has been losing as well, and we don't have too much a charting pattern here, but €1,600, and we're now below 1,520. I think, Tammy, we face a big transition in markets away from tech, away from let's put out money on the corner, on the road. We don't know it's going to be paid off at some point soon. I think we face a time of like a different market momentum, and like consumer staples could come back, pharmaceutical companies could come back, like those guys which had been left behind, like Diageo, Nike, nice company, basically. Big turnaround in the making? No. I mean, the stocks are kind of moving down the drain, right? So, but those companies, I think, have a better future because the Nvidias, the AMDs, the Intels, they have made the tremendous run already. And I think, Tommy, it's just like a time we see a shift. We see a shift in the market.
What's that question you have for me? You said you had a question for me. What's that question?
What was your biggest losing trade this year? I want to know, Tommy, because we always talk about trades and about our winning positions, what we make, what we kill, and what was your biggest mistake this year so far?
Okay, so was it literally a mistake? One time I made a rookie error. I was supposed to be long on the market and I pressed the short button, right? And
yes.
To be honest, I got into it not knowing what I was thinking, and I kept on holding and thinking, oh, this trade is supposed to be in profit because it's actually being bullish, but then it's negative. But I would say my hugest loss for this year was about $500, right? So I took a trade, it didn't pan out. I was heavy on the trade. I guess my analysis was wrong. And of course, I recovered later, but then, that's my biggest losing trade. How about yours? Okay. Tell me about yours.
Dude, let's not talk about, I should have not asked you that question. Last year I was talking silver is going through the moon, and I was shorting it too early, to be honest. And I kind of was not waiting long enough, always like a bit too high in that market. And then kind of, now it would have gone well in profit, but I closed the trade too early. I might say. So this was a lesson learned again. And of course, these like you want to press buy and you press sell or something like, oh shit, this happened to me as well, and it still does. But this year, for me, it was China. Big on China, but the Chinese market has not done anything much whatsoever. Xiaomi, Alibaba, Hang Seng Tech, all those ones. But I'll patiently wait and see how it goes. It's not a big loss, but it's just like a bit of a missed opportunity, maybe in regards to having spent the money somewhere else. Cool. I think we got a nice session. We got a long we did a long session today, right?
yeah. All right, guys. Of course, you could always visit naga.com. You could check out our assets. We have a lot of them right there. Whatever tickles your fancy when it comes to the world of trading, you will find it on Naga. So please make sure, click the link, dive in, give your comments if you have any comments. If you have topics you want us to cover, we are here, we're ready, and we will always be giving you insight about the market in general. So generally a great session, my friend. I guess we'll say ciao to the people and we'll meet them on the next one.
Cool. Thanks, Tammy. Have a good one, and enjoy the match if you're watching Argentina today, right?
Of course. All right, guys, until we come your way next time, we want to wish you good luck and good trading. Take care.